So following up with our Kel Tec field strip video, we're going to do a internal frame removal. It's almost a complete disassembly, but it's basically what I do if I'm going to clean the gun thoroughly. So you can take it a little farther if you want, but obviously the first thing we're going to do is clear it. Fire the gun in a safe direction. Make sure it's empty, as we are sure it is. And then we're going to field strip it. I'm going to pull this pin using a cartridge to do that. We're going to release the slide lock, take off the slide. To be honest, you don't really need to take this apart for this video. It's basically the same as a field strip. I had the Allen wrench out here because I'm going to take this ejector spring off, but it's not really necessary. It's not anything you don't probably already know how to do. So let's just work on the frame. There's 3 pins we're going to punch out, here, here, and here. This pin holds a hammer block. I don't recommend taking this out. It's not necessary to take the frame out, and it's not going to make your life any easier when you go to put the gun back together. So we're going to take these 3 pins out. They're all plastic. See my fancy block here. They'll come out pretty easily. Once you have your pins out, the other kind of interesting thing you need to do is take this little plug out. This plug, you see that little bit of wire, is actually a spring that's holding tension on this whole frame. It's actually holding tension on the hammer. But I just grab it right there, pry it up, and let it go right into the magazine. It's fine to sit there. It's not going to spring loose. There's really not too many things that are going to come popping out at you. There are if you take that hammer block out, but basically then we're going to very gently pry up on this frame, and I mean very gently. You don't need any pressure. I just do it to get it started. Then you can slide the frame out like so. So what's left in here, and what I was telling you don't remove, this is the hammer block and the spring. It's not that hard to put back in, but as you can see, it's pretty exposed, and what I mean by that is you can clean this pretty easily without taking it out. What else is left in here is the mag release, which is again pretty easy to clean. Inside there's the spring for it. I don't need to take that out, so we'll set the composite part aside. Now there's 2 springs that you want to take a look at before you take stuff off. This thing will pop right off on you, and I spent about 5 minutes trying to put it in the wrong way the first time I did it. So you want to make a note of how that is. There's actually a little groove inside of this arm here, and the other telltale thing is this tab goes underneath. And on the other side is this spring, and just remember that the short side of the spring goes down, and you'll have no trouble there, and that little tab goes inside of there. So we'll go ahead and remove these 2 items. All I did was lift it up and out. Hey, look at that. That one came off very easily for me. So this is the spring I was just telling you to pay attention to. When you go to put it back on, it's going to go all the way around and down like that on that bar. And the bar is going to go in with that tab underneath like that. So just remember that. Basically you got all those parts loose. It's pretty easy to clean from here. I cleaned it pretty recently. One of the things I'm going to do a little different since I got the gun apart is I'm actually going to polish the inside of this bar, since this is actually part of the trigger mechanism. As you can see here, rocks on this. So this being smooth and this being smooth, I actually smoothed out the action of the gun, which is kind of funny because this thing's got a 7-mile and 600-pound trigger pull. So it's not really necessary, but why not since I got it apart. So I'm going to do that. I'm not going to film it. Turn the camera back on after I get done. Make sure this is nice and smooth. Okay, ended up polishing both of these bars because I had it apart. Why not? They weren't rough or anything, but I'm a fiddler, so if I can make something better by fiddling with it, and I generally do. Also break a lot of stuff, so you get what you get. So we're going to reinstall these. Oh, I wanted to talk about real quick. You can take this down. You can take these two pins out. You take this pin out, and there's a pin inside of here that's actually barbed. That pin's a real pain in the neck. It's the main reason I don't mess with that. You can take this out, but to be honest, the main reason I even take the gun down this far is to clean it. Cleaned it pretty recently. There's no junk in here that I can tell. As I said, that I thought I saw a spot. Yeah, see, there was a little bit of junk in there. Anyway, generally I only take it down this far to clean. You can take that down a little farther if you want. If you're taking this pin out, you're probably replacing the trigger, and you probably don't need to watch my video. So let's get back to reassembling. I'm going to install this first. It's a little bit easier to deal with. The short side of the spring goes down. Just goes around there like that. Squeeze it, and it goes. This one's pretty good about staying where it's supposed to, but I'll be honest, this hole, this side and this spring, and this side and this spring will pop out on you if you're not careful. That one actually hurts if it's max U. For this one, you make sure this tab goes under, and it goes on there. And once you have this in place, I'm actually holding this side too to keep it from coming apart. Just going to take something and wind this spring around in here. Ow. And there's a little groove. There you go. Now it's in the groove. Now that one will pop out on you too. Putting this back in the gun. The only thing that's a little tricky, as if it's not looking tricky enough, is this hammer block. You need to push this hammer block back when you get to that stage in the game. But if you do it all right, it'll work out. So first thing you want to do is drop this down the mag well, shove your trigger in, and let the frame of the gun grab those springs that you're busy holding with your hand, and get everything sort of lined up. And I'm going to take this screwdriver, go under the trigger block, push the trigger block back, and then push the frame the rest of the way in. And from there you should be good to go. Before I put my pins back in, I'll reach in here with some needle nose, and there's probably a better way to do this, but and it's got that. We're going to put our pins back in, because I don't need that block. There's our frames in the right spot. This is pretty simple. And there you go. If that doesn't work for you, if you can't pull that and lock it, your hammer block's wrong, you got to take this apart. But anyway, mine seems to be right. And now we're basically back to field strip reinstall, which we're going to line this slot up, push that back. It's me being bad. This needs to be locked back. Push this down as you slide it back. That goes there. Back in here. You're done. Make sure that the slide works. You know, actually it does feel a little better. So there's that. Happy. Thanks.